bookies have looked at Denis Douglin and basically said, no chance, let's see.
Yeah, they clipped a nice little southpaw right hook counter there. That was quick, it was accurate.
Douglin has lost 3 of his last 8, but he actually looked at the tail of the tape. A couple of those was when he was still trying to make 11 stone. Here he is packing nearly 12 stone. In fact, he blew the scales. He was a few ounces over at first. Had to go back and sweat a few ounces off. He never boxed higher than 11-12. One of those defeats was against the very useful prospect Jamel Charlo as well. So obviously he was struggling at the weight. Let's see what he's like carrying a few more pounds.
He seems to throw them quickly enough. You know, the jab is quite fast. You know, he doesn't move. He just shoots the hand out. You know, it's could catch you with surprise. He doesn't move in behind it. You know, usually some fighters that actually make a little sign before they get a punch off. He just shoots it straight out, but not accurate yet with it.
Sharp right hand from Groves. Little warning sign there for the man from New Jersey. And there's a sign that it hurt him as well, because he's looking to try and get in close and just hang on.
Well, you're never quite sure what tactics George Groves is going to take in. Sometimes he gets on his bike for a few rounds, sometimes he comes out bomb happy. So thankfully, as I said, he's getting caught as he comes forward. This fella's caught him with a couple of southpaw right hooks, the left hand as well. So he's been a little bit reckless. He wants to be careful. He's not made of iron. He's been hurt a few times in his career, Groves, so he wants just to find out what kind of power this guy has before you take too many chances.
And he won't want to see this dragging into the later rounds either. That's one of the words on Groves is, the longer it goes, the less he impresses.
He's certainly not had things his own way in the opening round.
He certainly hasn't. Here's Douglin trying to be the bully boy in there. First southpaw he's fought since Gale, I believe, this fella. Let's see what Groves can do with him. And again, getting caught. He was wide open there as he just lunged in, caught with the left hand.
C-Class from £329 per month.
I wouldn't say there's any great cause for alarm there, Jim, but we've seen George Groves look sharper than we did there.
I mean, his punching was sharp, as you can see with that replay there. He was taking too many as he was coming forward. I don't know if it's a southpaw stance he's got to come to terms with. He certainly hurt Douglin there just before that. That's the reason he was leeching himself on. But no, he needs to get his mind on the job here. Awkward southpaw.
Round 2 of this 12-rounder. Groves, who hopes to line up a shot at Anthony Durrell, the WBC champion, next. Durrell has already made noises that no way is he coming to the UK, so we'll see if money talks or whether George has to travel. That's assuming that fight gets made, of course.
Groves, he didn't find any rhythm in the opening round. I just think this southpaw stance has gotten knocked off balance a little bit.
Yeah, with a couple of left hands there as well.
He's not seeing them coming.
He is taking risks when he steps in. Caught right at the end of the first round. He hasn't learnt the lesson. I'll tell you what, if Douglin's got a chin and he can take these big right hands of Groves's, this fight could get very interesting.
Groves is struggling to pin this fella down and catch him cleanly. I mean, I was saying in the opening couple of seconds that Douglin seems to throw them quick. You know, he doesn't give any warning. He just shoots the punches out. Don't know how much power is in them. There's his right hand landing again. And Douglin, no. Groves looking a little bit ragged.
Had a busy fight in September against Christopher Abrasse to win the European title. He's since given that up to pursue higher ambitions.
I thought he was very good that night.
I was going to say, in no trouble, kept a high tempo. It looked like he'd finally laid the ghost of Carl Froch to rest, although he's again been talking about Carl this week. Got tagged with a left hand there as well.
I think he's trying to counter Douglin now. You know, I think he's been finding it awkward getting his jab home against the southpaw. I think he's trying to invite the leads from Douglin. Yep, that paid off for him.
It was all a bit messy, but then Groves is on him with a couple of right hands. Couldn't capitalise though as Douglin regrouped.
So I think Groves has to tighten things up and throw combinations, single punches against the awkward southpaw. Not working, so get the chin down, tighten the defences and move in and get 3s and 4s off. Not been caught napping in this round, thankfully. Okay, this looks like an awkward night. We'll see when the big punches land how good Douglin's chin is. Good stuff. That was a better round for Groves.
Let's shop small. Let's support the butchers, the bakers, the stylish dressmakers, the doers, the menders, the all-night shop owners who do big things for us. From candles to bangles, from keys cut to haircuts, and all those small things that help us. Let's support the heroes of our high street. Think big, shop small. On Saturday, December 6th, join Small Business Saturday. American Express. Realise the potential.
Jab, set up the combination off the jab. Everything doesn't have to be hard.
Trying to slip him out the right hand off my jab.
Yeah, but stop dropping your hands. Look at where it opens.
Not many female trainers around. You think of Anne Wolf, she stands out, but she's the only mother that I'm aware of. Jim, you've been in this business a lot longer than I have. Have you ever come across a mother working the corner?
No, never have done. That was better from Groves. Still a little bit reckless. I think he wants to settle down. Don't make too much of a panic. He has 12 rounds here to solve this guy out. Just take his time. I think this guy is maybe a little bit better than Groves and probably most of us expected.
Well, as I said earlier, the bookies weren't impressed at all. 100 to 1 on George Groves going into this one. They thought Douglin would offer very little. And if you looked at his record, just had a quick glance at it, you thought, yeah, look at all those defeats he just had, but at a much lower weight. Maybe he was just getting drained. And maybe Groves is a little bit mentally not quite there, because he's looked at that and thought, maybe this guy isn't going to cause me too many problems.
Well, Groves has changed his ideas. You know, he's trying to draw leads, which is clever. His jab wasn't working, and that's good. Groves is using his head in this round now. He's just flitting on the edge of range, inviting the lead and trying to counter. He wants to counter with 2 and 3 punches, not singles. Nothing clean in there at the moment. Yep, break them up.
Victor Loughlin had seen enough there. But very little, if anything, so far to suggest that Douglin is being blown away by Groves' power. Not uncomfortable at the moment at all, the American. Just nip in first there as well. Groves couldn't catch him with the counter. Took another risk there, Groves. Took a left hand for his pains.
I wonder, maybe if you're on the verge of a world title fight, don't fight a southpaw. I think it's given him nightmares here, this fellow's southpaw stance. Not looking at his sharpest, Groves, is he?
No, a long way off what we saw in September against Abrasse. I mean, there are people in the business that say there's a bit of damage, I think, on the bridge of the nose for Groves, right across the bridge of the nose. Now, whether that was a punch or the heads came together, there was definitely a clinch there, but that's gone right across the top of the nose. A bit low with the body work there, Douglin, but he's happy to stand and try and mix it up with Groves here.
I think Groves is surprised here. I think this is a surprise package. He's struggling at the moment.
Interesting to know what Paddy Fitzpatrick in Groves' corner will do to try and make a few adjustments here. Paddy always talks sense. That's a little bit better from Groves. Well, they're going to have to go to work on the bridge of the nose. Caught him again there, Douglin. And Groves is getting dragged into a place he doesn't want to be right now. This is not going well for him. Well, we've heard from Tony Bellew. Let's hear from the other main eventer tonight, Nathan Cleverly. He's with Andy Scott.
Nathan, 3 years ago you came to Tony's hometown. Are you drawing on those experiences and those memories now?
Yeah, we're here again, Echo Arena. This is my 5th time in the Echo Arena now, so it's been a good hunting ground for me. I've been here 4 times before. I've won 4 times before, so let's make it the fifth successive time. Looking forward.
It's a quiet dressing room, and how are the nerves?
Yeah, it's peaceful. This is how I like it in the dressing room. Most of my fights, I've always liked it. Not many people in. I don't like a big entourage. I like it quite quiet, peaceful, my own time. It's the way I tick, and it's calm before the storm.
The talking's done. What happens next?
Talking's done. Tools are wrapped. So down to business now. I'm gonna get off to a sharp start. Nothing sloppy, not get caught with silly shots early on by this big puncher. So nice sharp start, hands up, and keep it going for 12 rounds if it goes that far.
Best of luck.
Yeah, we'll hear from those two doing their talking with their fists in the not too distant future. People have talked about Nathan Cleverly looking rattled in the build up to this fight. Jim, I haven't seen it, and we didn't see it there either.
No, I don't think Nathan's all that comfortable with the verbals, and I think he would like just sign the contract on in the fight in a professional manner. So he's uncomfortable with it, but he has a choice. So he's got involved in it, but now his mind is on the job and nothing else.
Now, talking about being rattled, how's George Groves mentally at the moment? This isn't going according to the script. That's a bit better. Got him with a counter, with a spike in that shot. That's much better, much sharper. It's almost like he's got switched on here, Groves, at the start of this 4th round.
This is what's needed. Yep. I think he now realises there's work to be done. See him stepping across there, not allowing Douglin to move the way a southpaw wants to move. So he's manoeuvring him, looking for the right hand. That's terrific stuff. Terrific stuff.
Come out a different fighter here in the 4th. And right on Douglin's case again. The American having to pay attention to his defensive work, and he's caught with the right hand and looking to hold. Another sign that he's felt the power.
See, he's putting punches together, so Douglin can't counter. This is much better. Despite he's in the punches, he's putting them together, and he's stepping in behind them. He was reaching with punches. I don't think he was paying Douglin full respect in the early stages. This is different class Groves now.
And that is a hurtful right hand that Groves throws. Let's ask the fella upstairs in our studio, even he would admit that. You get tagged with that, you feel it.
This is an entirely different George Groves now. I think he's had a tongue lashing in the corner, and he's responded to it.
Douglin not finding much by way of a response here in this 4th round.
Well, he's been hurt, so he's not quite so confident. He was building confidence there, but I think Groves has taken that away from him. This is clever. He started doing this in the previous round, inviting the leads and countering. Now he's really making it work.
The atmosphere in the arena starting to build as we get closer to the main event. Anthony Joshua to come before that as well against Michael Sprott. That's never boring when Joshua's in the ring.
There's a clever bit of boxing there from Groves, pinned him nicely in the corner. Well, Douglin, he's been stopped a couple of times, but he's looking tough enough. Took some big shots there.
1888, William and Ralph Foster gave Australia its first taste of true refreshment. Foster's, good call since 1888.
You talked about a tongue lashing in the last round. He's getting another one here, Jim.
Well, sometimes you need tactics explained to you, sometimes you need encouraged, and sometimes you just need a kick up the backside. And that's what he got, and it worked. Just hope worrying about that cut across the bridge of the nose. Don't see many fights stop because of that injury, so we should be okay.
Well, if Groves continues in the same vein here, there is every expectation that we might be seeing Anthony Joshua and Michael Sprott sooner rather than later, because Douglin was starting to feel the pace there in that last round.
So you can see Groves, he has that right hand ready now. People say that's the one for the southpaw, fair enough. So you can see he's got it cocked and ready, there it goes, timing it nicely.
Right again, but Douglin looking to try and press forward and knock Groves out of his rhythm again. You get tagged too often now, Douglin, with that right hand. That was a bit better, just slipped inside, but Groves looks to work the body. But now Douglin on the front foot, trying to rough up Groves. He's rallied and regrouped well here, Douglin.
Yeah, he is tough enough. I mean, we were thinking he may be a little bit fragile, but that's certainly not the case. But in this kind of fight, I mean, there's no advantage being a southpaw. That only comes at long range, and Grove seems to have taken that advantage away with the long right hand that he's throwing. This is rugged.
Yeah, Douglin's trying a bit of roughhouse stuff here as well, and Groves didn't like it.
Well, at long range he was getting a second prize, so you can hardly blame him.
Yeah, just linked in with his head there, Douglin. That was on the chest of Groves. Let's see if Douglin will continue with the rough stuff. Groves with a sharp right hand to the chest, misses with a big hook. Douglin looking to try and work the body, and Groves briefly backed up, tries to find a response. It's a good little spell from Douglin, attacking the midsection there. So that was a nice sharp left hand from Groves.
We're seeing some good stuff from Groves, some good responses from Douglin as well. Groves keeping things a bit tighter than Douglin. Douglin dropping the hands now as though he's maybe tiring a little bit. That's usually an early sign, a bit tired, you know, get the blood flowing, drop the hands. So Groves staying on him, that's good, that is good.
Good body shot from Groves, dug in the left hand, Douglin absorbed it. And once again it was Douglin coming off the best. This is an intriguing one.
This morning, I was just a drop, a single drop that soon became a river. In this river, hope was born, a tidal wave of change. And if anyone stands against that tide, we will become a revolution. Assassin's Creed Unity, the Revolution Edition, only at Game. Get the Ultimate Assassin's Creed bundle with Xbox One.
Full house here at the Echo Arena. Denis Douglin sat on his stool at the moment, is blowing very hard and looking a little bit sorry for himself. As his mother, Sapphire, just tries to lift his spirits. He's put a lot into this, but is it starting to hurt a little bit now for Mama's boy? Round 6. This has been a much better effort from Douglin than a lot of people were expecting at the start of the night. A similar story for Scott Quigg when Hidenari Otake came and went the full 12. The surprise was that Marco Antonio Periban, who was thought to give James DeGale a bit of a workout, well, he was the one that faded. As even Chacon gave Jamie Jamie McDonald a tough old time before retiring. That's much better from Groves. This is good, sharper stuff. The accuracy's there, but noticeably, Jim, I think Douglin is starting to fade.
Yeah, he looked pretty tired as he went back to his corner. Huge effort, a couple of huge efforts in the previous round to get himself back into things, turn the tide back in his favour after the decent start that he had. But you can see that the concentration in Groves' face. He's standing with the punches ready, and as soon as the opportunity's there, he lets them go. Really, he's thinking sharply and he's punching sharply. Right hand's working as the left hook there.
Douglin continuing to try and work downstairs. Groves did a better job defensively, and Douglin just boring his way in. Decent left to the body from Douglin.
Yeah, it's becoming a bit of a job for the referee. It's becoming untidy up close. Sometimes with the southpaw and the orthodoxy you get that. Another big effort from Douglin. Not a lot of accuracy, not a lot of effort.
The lace has come undone on the left boot of Denis Douglin. Groves just takes a breather, quick look at his corner. He's still trying to impose himself on this fight. Physically, he's got all the tools. He's the naturally big super middleweight, whereas Douglin is growing into this. He's fighting at his heaviest ever. You think that Groves ought to be able to impose himself physically with his size, and that is much better.
I think attitude's got a lot to do with it. If you don't go into a fight, worrying about your opponent, then you're not psyched up properly, you're not in the proper frame of mind. So I think Groves has had to drag him into that frame, drag himself there. But from the third round, really has looked so much sharper.
Yeah, he has. He's a guy, and again, he's starting to look really tired. Now, Douglin, I just wonder how much longer he can go.
With a straight right hand at long range isn't listening, so that's what he wants. Douglin's strong, so up close you can sap the energy, so this is the range that Groves wants. Good shot.
Well, it has to be said, Jim, we're nearly halfway through this fight, and we're looking at an elite world level super middleweight against a career middleweight who's never been anywhere near that level, and it's rather closer than a lot of people expected.
Yeah, he didn't get off to the best of start. Groves took too many shots early, but he's acted on the road now, I think.
Let's see what Jamie Moore makes of all this with Ed.
James Douglin impressed earlier. How do you think George Groves is performing in comparison?
I think he struggled early on, to be honest, Ed, working Douglin out. I think Douglin was doing some nice stuff, throwing some nice feints, working the body well. I think George was loading up a little bit too much, trying to be impressive. But that was the first round, really, where he came out and he just tried to box, just tried to get the shots off, and it worked. He controlled the action. Douglin looked like he was struggling with it towards the end, but then just as he started to boss the action, he started to load up again. So I'm sure Paddy in the corner there just time to settle down, do what he did for the first 2 minutes, which was just to land the shots, because when he concentrates on speed and boxing, he bosses the action. When he starts to load up, Douglin sees it coming.
Thank you, Jamie.
Yeah, thanks, Jamie. We're into round 7 of this 12-rounder. Groves comes in and announces the start of the 7th round with a right hand. Jim, this is how you're seeing it.
Yeah, but a couple of struggles in the early part of the fight. I gave a couple of rounds to Douglin. Groves was walking on to punches, but since he's got his mind on the job, he's been landing the more quality shots. He's dominated a couple of rounds, won them clearly. The other couple of rounds, I just thought his work was better. So it's for me, it's swinging in his favour. Douglin's strong and upward, so you want to keep him at long range. So there's that left hand from Douglin. That's Groves was taking too many of those early. That's what caused the nose damage.
There are some people in the business that say George takes on a little bit too much. He handles his own affairs, runs his own business, and there's obviously nothing wrong with that, but he's into to managing and looking after fighters as well. He was certainly so busy during the build-up to the Carl Froch rematch when he was everywhere. Just dissipated some of his energy, maybe. Maybe he hasn't really studied this fella.
See, that's smart from Groves, Nick. You know, instead of going into a clinch with him, you know, he backed off, got himself out of there. See, he doesn't want to stand here. He'd be better just circling out of there, because this is energy-sapping stuff here.
Douglin continuing just to get in close and work the body.
Let it go.
You break them up, the referee will need to break them up, it's becoming messy. Now Douglin's really guilty, he's grabbing up close, he's stopping Groves from working. He's going to have to be careful, he doesn't lose a point here, doesn't want that. Good body shot, perfect!
Finally! It was that big right hand over the top, following the body shot that did the damage. He's up at 7.
He's shaky.
Is Victor Loughlin going to let this go on? Yes, he is. 30 seconds or so left for Groves to try and get this fella out of there. Here in round 7, he's all over the place still, looking to try and hold on. Buying time.
Yeah, he's stunned. He's badly stunned. Doesn't know where he is.
And again, he's doing the smart thing, just trying to survive. And we get down to 20 seconds. Just trying to get some life back in those legs. Groves must know one more big punch will get this fella out of there. And there's a lefters wobble in, and Victor Loughlin steps in and says that'll do it. Not a classic performance from Groves, and he'll know that, but he got the job done.
Yeah, that was an opponent who was far more awkward, far tougher than we expected. George was caught napping in the early stages, taking far too many punches. The damage to his nose puts testament to that. But he turned it around, he ground out a performance. In the end, he looked pretty good.
Took him 3 rounds to get going. I wonder how he'll grade his own assessment.
I mean, the long-range punches, too often he allowed this guy to get close. He was physically strong, let him mess him about. And that was a terrific punch, and he didn't really recover from that. When he got back up onto his feet, you could see he was still stunned. So one clean shot there would have finished it. You know, you could see he wasn't all that well balanced, but survival instincts kicked in. Good shot there, which added to his troubles. And that's the actual knockdown puncher. We're seeing that again, but as he drove him to the corner, landed some terrific shots. He was running out of time, but there was nothing coming back. So we'll probably see the finish now. He gets him back into his own corner. You know, left himself some room to work. He knew one clean punch would get the job done. There's a thumping left hook. You can see the way he staggered from that. Nothing coming back. So Victor Loughlin calls it off. No real complaints.
Ladies and gentlemen, timekeeper Colin Roberts has recorded a time of 2 minutes and 54 seconds of the 7th round. Referee Victor Loughlin has stopped the contest. Douglin in no position to continue, therefore your winner, and still the WBC Silver Super Middleweight Champion from Hammersmith, London, England, St. George Groves.
And still on course to fight for the world title against Anthony Durrell in 2015. But a slow start, and he finally got himself going and eventually managed to get this fella out of there in 7 rounds. Strong finish when it came. The right